Hi, this is Jason from New Rising Media, and this is the Google Nexus 7, an Asus-built 7-inch tablet that heralds the release of Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. You can get your hands on one either through the Google Play Store or from most technology shops. The 8GB version costs £159 and the 16GB for just 40 quid more. This is very much a device intended for just content consumption rather than productivity. The film and book recommendations begging you to buy stuff on this thing are pretty hard to ignore, but since Android has a wealthy app catalogue, it's possible to give the device some reason for being. Something I feel has been missing from tablets, making them some of the most expensive and needless desirables out there compared to a notebook computer. Dig further into the nicely packed box and you'll see the common suspects. The plug adapter, USB to micro USB cable, warranty information and a quick start guide to get you up on your feet, and finally the wall plug adapter for your country. In terms of hardware, the Nexus 7 has a nice size in the hand and manages to not feel too heavy but also feel premium in weight as well. For the price you get a really nicely made and well designed tablet made from good quality materials. The display, as you can see, is a fingerprint magnet, but that issue is not going to go away anytime soon. The back of the device feels great in your hands, almost like the grippy dotter material you find on driving gloves or car steering wheels. My one gripe would be glass on the front. It just feels loose within the frame. I know it's probably just part of the manufacturing, but I always find myself applying pressure on the bezel to try and get it back into place. You'll find the sleep weight button on the right and a 1.2 megapixel camera on the front to enable face unlock, which asks you to blink now to combat using photographs to gain access. The surprisingly high specs for a tablet at this price will ensure you're not disappointed by the performance in any situation. The 7-inch IPS display has great viewing angles and colour contrast, but not the deep blacks you get from an AMOLED panel you'd find on the Galaxy Nexus. The 1.3 GHz quad-core Tegra processor and 1GB of RAM gives fantastic gaming performance, and the speaker is surprisingly good. Though I'd still recommend earphones, this makes it a fantastic choice for watching movies or playing games on the go. Many key features come from the software, Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. Visually, little has changed. All the design cues and interactions are there from Ice Cream Sandwich, but many little modifications have been made to improve the experience. Google's fight against lag, known as Project Butter, makes the whole experience feel faster, but there is still some stuttering here or there. Widgets will now either automatically resize or icons on the home screen will move to make room for them, eliminating the process of making space. A weird change is the home screen is always in portrait, making for an awkward transition from landscape apps. Third-party options are available to make this work, but it's just strange that Google has moved away from doing this themselves. Chrome is now the standard browser on Jelly Bean, and Flash is no more, making for an extremely quick web experience which interacts over the cloud with your desktop version of Chrome. The keyboard is a bit of a catch-22. The Nexus 7 makes a really tempting proposition for note-making in meetings or lectures. The autocorrect has been improved for better efficiency and spell correction. However, with average mitts such as my own, I found that it's a strain to type on like a smartphone and cramped to type on in landscape like a computer. It gets really uncomfortable after a while, but something like this is really down to individual preference, so I recommend anyone looking to buy to give it a go. An important feature is Google Now. It's what people are calling Android's Siri competitor, but something I see as much more than that. It presents relevant information based on your search history and location in a series of cards as and when you need them. Sure, it answers questions such as, when is it sunrise in Tokyo?
The sun will rise at 4:58 am.
With the great voice recognition that Google is famous for, but the intentions of the service through this card system are to be much more of a personal assistant than an AI you can have a conversation with and ask to set reminders. It's got future potential, as the breadth of the service is rather limited at the moment, but it's a nice way to tie in all of Google's products together. The battery life of the Nexus 7 is brilliant. In our tests, it achieved 9 hours Wi-Fi browsing, 4 hours of gaming, and 10 hours of video, hitting the sweet spot of not worrying the user about charging the device. Google Play has worked commendably in bringing a content ecosystem to the Nexus 7, offering a whole array of movies, music, books and apps to stock up your device. The one issue that has cursed Android tablets in the past is the amount of apps optimized for the larger screen, as you can see with Twitter. It will leave for a huge waste of screen real estate, but in some way, it works a lot better on the Nexus 7 than a 10-inch screen. If this was intentional on Google's part, then it's a brilliant move of masking the key fault of Android's tablet offering. Although, you're pulling next to something that has been coded for the screen size like Google Plus, and you can really tell the difference and the vast improvement. Overall, this is a great premium tablet, which is made even better by that low price point. It would be great to see some sort of 3G enabled Nexus 7 in the future, and I think the local storage options may be too constricting for some people, especially without the SD card expansion. But on the whole, if you're out in the market for a tablet, definitely give the Google Nexus 7 a look.